guide you on a journey into your consciousness where you will flow like pure crystal water. You will allow yourself to heal all fractals of your past, present, and future self. This journey will help you release your suffering that has taken over your mind and soul. Your journey is imperative for consciousness connection. Your consciousness will allow you to understand why we need expansion and growth, just like what the sunshine does. Take this journey to enlightenment. It's time to heal. Set yourself free so you can blossom into the perfect soul your Creator intended for you. And so it is. Much love.
All right. So I will also send you the link for this recording, and it will be on my Rumble channel, Angelic Realms Productions. And as I receive more knowledge and information, I will share it. And I try to share it in layman's terms because a lot of this is very complicated and people are having a hard time comprehending it. And since now that I'm activated, I can start to comprehend it. Okay, go ahead.
I think I may need to put my dogs up because they're going to be loud.
Oh yeah, do whatever
I don't
you
want
need.
them. Is the recording picking up my dogs in the background?
No, I have my 2 dogs here too. So if they see yours bark, mine will. I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure they weren't.
It's fine.
Okay.
And this is part of life. We have things. I mean, I might get UPS coming. In fact, I'm going to close my blinds so the dogs don't see UPS or whatever. And before, I'm going to move my chair and I'll bring it back because before we start, I always ask permission that I can work on your energy. Energy is very sacred to me. So sacred. When people say, I will send your energies love and light and this and that, I'm like, whoa, I don't know if I want your energies to send me that. So I try to change the dialogue and just say much love, because once you've had psychic attacks, we've all have had psychic attacks. It's if you recognize what they are. But once you've had one in your private domain, in your bedroom, you change. And I look at it kind of as a blessing because I've learned so much. So Melissa, do I have your permission to work with your energy fields today?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you. It's a complete honor. And thank you for being here. It is an honor to be able to meet you and have an energy exchange in person with visuals and audio versus on a social media platform.
For sure. I agree.
It's different, isn't it?
It is.
Does it feel okay to you?
Absolutely. It feels amazing already.
Good. And you are so beautiful. You have beautiful eyes.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. So since I have your permission now, what I'm going to do is an energy clearing. I don't know if you've ever worked with energies and cleaning energy fields. Have you ever done that before?
No, just like the traditional saging and kind of, setting some intentions. And I don't even know that I'm doing that correctly.
And you know what? There's no rules, but there is one specific thing that I do is it's also in that whole Agent Smith attack video, is I send the negative energies back into the light with their families because they have been tricked and deceived to be here. And so we can't just clear and say, get out of our house. They have to go somewhere. Or they're just misplaced into a different entity and do entity hopping into people, into homes, into, all those things.
Which makes sense because energy is never lost. It's only transferred.
Right. We have to transfer it to liquid light back into the light. I get chills all the time. So when you do,
Oh, me too. Me too.
Yeah, and okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start that. I already did an energy clearing. Now behind me is my energy mat. This is Pulsed Electro-Magnetic Field Healing. Pulsed Electro-Magnetic Field Healing, the type of energy is called the triple sawtooth. That's the wave form. It's like up real smooth. Now, our bodies are scalar waves, okay? Now, I'm sure you saw the video when I went and did the scalar. It's those the scalar wave healing, these monitors with all the weird coding in
I
it.
did
And
see some of that, yes.
yeah, so that's scalar waves. And
Okay.
that's the same waveform as our bodies. And that's when I went into that room, I'm like, okay, yeah. I mean, I feel I'm energy sensitive. So when I sat there, I'm like, oh, whoa, these energies in here have not been moved. They need to leave and go to the light. So I ended up doing a whole clearing. That was my very first time that I was guided to do a clearing. Otherwise, I had never, ever watched how to do it. I did it all within my inner self. That one thing I did know was to send them into the light, that they needed to go into liquid light and to be with their family that has loved them. And that's what will happen as your consciousness comes through from the subconscious. You're going to start to learn how to do things automatically. These are those gifts that you all of a sudden start to remember. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do this because we're working with energy fields through the internet, the ether. And so we don't know who's in there. So this is why I'm going to clear it, because we're working in a computer. And whenever I do any work, I'm always clearing energy. And then you already know to set the intention, okay? I am using white sage. I do have Palo Santo wood, but it doesn't burn. You have to keep relighting it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sage tends to stay lit a little bit longer. If I can get it lit, there it goes. And so there we go. And I'm making these smudging fans now. And this one has a little rattle in it. So I'm starting to put smudge boxes together for people to buy if they'd like.
It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is really special. It's sacred. We're all very sacred energies, and we're very special as humans. Okay, so here we go. Any entity, negative entity in this home, in this computer, in Melissa's home, in Melissa's computer, has to leave. You have to leave and go to the light. You have been deceived and tricked, and your families are waiting for you. They're waiting for you with love, kindness, and compassion, and you need to go into the light. Thank you, and may your future be filled with happiness, because you've been stuck here in this realm. Put it around the computer. Okay, and now I'm going to relight it and set our intention. It seems to be a little. I wonder if there's still moisture in it. Sometimes it's still, doesn't want to light. Okay. With this, I set intentions that we will have a video for educational purposes for Melissa and whoever watches this video. It is made with love, kindness, and compassion, and to help people grow in consciousness connection with mind, body, and soul, so they can be free of any pain and suffering, and may their memories and growth and their DNA start to connect with a code, an activation code that we all will be given as our levels of consciousness rise. And with that, so be it. And much love. All right. So there's no rules, and I'm going to stand while I talk because I do better. That's the whole flow thing. Okay. So we cleansed, we set intention, and now I'm going to talk about the Christos diamond sun body. Okay. The cross and the diamond. Do you remember? You received the document for that?
Oh, which one? I'm sorry. I lost your voice just for a second there.
Wants to come in. Hold on. Missy, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Did you miss what I just did?
No, I was watching the whole time.
Okay, good. I just didn't realize you were here. Okay. Missy, this is Melissa. Melissa, this is Missy.
Hi, Melissa.
Hi, how are you?
I would normally show my face, but y'all, I've been sweating out in the chicken pen and all that, so that's why I'm not showing.
Missy has her own show with a bunch of fantastic women. It's Patriot Angels 1. They're on
that's
Rumble.
Amazing. Awesome.
Yeah, you'll have to check them out. Okay, so I'm glad you heard it, Missy. Anyone who watches this, gets the same information. They are cleansed and intention set. Okay. The Christos Diamond Somebody, a woman on Facebook put this message, gave me a message, and she said, my guides contacted me to tell you this. So I get chills. So it was my guides contacting her to give me information. And this is how it works. The guides are all working together, helping us light workers. And this is what it is. First of all, you have the divine masculine and you have the divine feminine, all equal as one, okay? Then you have the diamond, and that is embodied around the cross. This is the most sacred, holy union of one. Whenever you will use this symbol to clear out any negative energies, okay? And I gave you all the information too. This will also help you to connect to your divine consciousness. So what you do is, after I do all the smudging and clearing and setting tension, I take my diamond, my Christos Diamond Sun body, and put it above my head, and it's covered in white light. I bring it above my head because your chakras are above and below. As above as below, that's your chakras, okay? So we have more than 7 chakras. They're above. And I run this Christos Diamond Sun body with the white light all the way through my body, past my toes, all the way past the toes from the bottom chakras, all the way back up. And I do this anytime you need protection. This is going to protect you, and it works. I've had feedback from people that if they didn't have this, they don't know where they'd be. So anytime you feel negative energy or something, you're, like a situation where you have something's come to you and you don't like it, protect yourself, protect your home, protect your family, protect your pets. You could do it over your entire house, engulf it with white light, white liquid light, okay? I do this on my mat. I do this in bed. I do visuals all the time. Remember, this is going to lead us now into the quantum. Your thoughts, I want to say it perfectly, okay? So I'm going to read it verbatim this is from Dr. Joe Dispenza when he was in an interview with Aubrey Marcus. I don't know if you know these people, but they're both fantastic. They're on YouTube, and I suggest looking into them. Thoughts are the electrical charge in the quantum field. Your thoughts are the electrical charge in the quantum field. Feelings are the magnetic charge in the quantum field. How you think and how you feel broadcasts an electrical magnetic signature that influences everything in your life. So the thoughts send the signal out, and the feelings are the magnetic field that draws the event back to you. That is manifestation. That's how you manifest. That's how you stay in positive waveform. You put that thought out, you have that magnetic feeling, and it pulls it all together, an event. Now, when I do my flow work, I do movement. I work with those feelings. I work on the earth. I work in the environment. I'm working on what I want. I work on protecting people. So when I'm outside, I put music on. And this is why I call it flow. Part of the reason. There's another reason too. So when I'm outside, I put my music on, and I have my favorite playlist, and I can share it with you, and you guys can build upon it or whatever you need for tools. It sound and visuals evoke codes and activations in people. So if I'm getting activated by my music, it might activate you too, but you can do whatever resonates with you. I'm not saying you have to. Music is a very personal thing. So when I'm just going to show you a few movements I do. Okay. So I start to move. It's kind of like I'm hula. I'm going to change the camera or so you can see. It's kind of like, I'm in Hawaii dancing and I don't care what my neighbors think. So when I do my flow, I start to move like so. And I have my music on. So I'll play some music and you can get an idea of what I do. If the music sounds funky, let me know, okay? Are you guys okay?
I am.
Okay. This is one of my favorite songs. Can you hear it okay?
Mhm.
Okay. And sometimes I hold crystals in my hand. I hold rocks and shells to bring in the elements, okay? So I put the energy out and I bring it in. You put that positive energy out, bring it in like the water. And then I go around. So I'm hitting northwest, south, all the locations, north, west, east, and south. So I'm using elements in my hand and putting it out and drawing it in. I like to use tools. This is for ether. This is crystal quartz, shell, water, and earth. And then you can do whatever you want. You can use wood, whatever's comfortable. This is just what I do. And you don't even have to do that. You can still just put those energies out. So I hold like the sun, the earth in my hand because I want world protection for people. And I put the crystal diamond somebody on that and I put it out and I bring it out into the world. So while I'm protecting the world and the environment, I'm starting to see dragonflies and birds come to me. They feel that positive energy because it's an electrical field, and you'll start to see your environment around you change.
Hey, Phil.
What?
Hey, I was going to tell you, wasps have landed on me without stinging me.
Yeah, that's your vibration probably changed. They don't sense the fear because insects, they sense things.
Yeah, they used to sting me all the time, girl.
That's amazing. In fact, that was a scene from one of the movies. What movie was it? I can't remember the name of it. It was a great movie. She was she was like a queen, and all these bees were swarming around her. I just watched it recently again. Anyways, so that's a little bit of my flow movement that I do, working with the quantum. Okay, so it also gets your blood circulating, and I'm going to teach you it's called they call it box breathing. And so let's practice that real quick. Okay, so you're going to breathe in for 4 through your nose, and you hold it in your nose for 7. And then you release it from your nose for 8. So you're not breathing through your mouth. There's a ton of different breathing techniques. Okay, there's alkaline breathing, box breathing. I don't know. I think there's one called fire breathing. But this one I do because I believe it creates something called a backflow. And that's part of the Roosh God seed. It creates let me pull it up. My notes. It's called backflow return. So when we breathe, breathe in for 4, hold it for 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Release it for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you can do this anytime. I like to do it with the Christos diamond somebody coming all the way through me while I'm breathing. Okay. So one thing I wanted to talk about was consciousness. When I first woke up in 2020, it was February, I couldn't even pronounce the word consciousness. I didn't even know what consciousness was. But as I grew and learned, once I found out what it was, it just clicked. And this was from, I can't remember the guy's name. So these are his words. I do not take other people's words without giving them credit, but I can't remember his name. But I give this guy credit because I need it in layman's term. I need it simplified. These big words are just, you can't understand it. So consciousness. The unconsciousness mind has the potential to hold all your belief systems, the physical mind experiences, The subconscious mind is the gatekeeper for the physical mind. It will slowly send the physical mind information as needed to work on. And the physical mind has the experience. So many of us have blockages, chakra blockages. You know, when a river is flowing and there's stones all misplaced, it doesn't give a straight flow. It's all kind of curvy wordy, and it's just not as it can get clogged up. Leaves get clogged. I mean, look at our dams up, above our roof. If there's leaves and shoots in it, it gets clogged. You need to have a good flow system. And what that means is working on our stuff. All the stuff that in this current life we are feeling and we don't know how to heal. Pain and suffering, belief systems, negative thoughts, all those things, the relationships we've lost, all the pain and suffering. Our cells hold cellular memory of pain and suffering. And we are in that process with ascension. We have to start healing. You'll still ascend. They know our vibration, but what happens is once you clear out some of these blockages, it connects you into your consciousness. So you're able to have in your subconscious mind information to slowly drip to your conscious mind so you can work at it. Your mind will not give you more than you can take. It needs to be worked at real simple and one bit at a time, because we're also fractals, all these little pieces from all of our past lives, and we are working on all that stuff. We are working at it. Haven't you guys ever had, like, all of a sudden you just start bawling and you don't know why? Just like a wave of emotion.
Right now. Like right now. Yes.
And it's very important to
Yes,
release it.
I can hear you, but I've got me on mute because my dog's going crazy because
Okay.
my daughter's home and the dog's going crazy because she wants out there and they're mowing.
That's okay. We all have our dogs here,
All right.
our babies.
Yep.
So when we have, like you're having, Melissa, right now, a flood of emotions, you're feeling a connection. You're feeling a connection of.
I've been experiencing that a lot lately.
Yeah, what you're doing is you're releasing because you're expanding and growing. You're making room. You're releasing pain from past life experience and past generational pain and current. So you're going through all the past, current, and our future selves, and generational pain that our ancestors have gone through, war and pain and suffering that they put in their cells. Any kind of pain and suffering is memory hold, and our parents transfer that to us in ourselves. So we're going through a lot of healing right now. A lot. And so all of a sudden, like last night, I just started crying. I'm on the floor bawling, and I don't know why. We're having a release. Your body's releasing this to make room for some growth. A lot of times.
So all the times I held it in, I was preventing myself from growth, basically.
Yeah, you have to let it out. What happens is it keeps you from ascension. It keeps you heavy. And it keeps you from reaching in your inner selves, because we have the Cathara grid within ourselves. Do you know what I mean when I say the Cathara grid? That's a whole nother video. I'll explain it to you.
It looks kind of like it kind of looks like a crystal. Like almost like a crystal.
It has axle
I know,
lines.
I can picture it.
Yeah, that's interdimensional. Yes. That's where we reside, and that's inside us. And that Christos diamond sun body is in there too, because that's part of us. That's who we are. And so releasing is really important. Just let it out. And that's when you take care of yourself even more. Write down what you're feeling. See if you need to analyze it and break it down. Is this a feeling of something that happened to you as a child? Is it because a lot of these blockages, our parents have projected their feelings onto us, and then we have suffering from it. Now that is also inner child work, and I do inner child work, but that's an appointment. But those things, working through inner child work, creates release from blockages. So is all of a sudden crying. It helps. And that helps get the flow going so you can have your consciousness connection. And we need that because, yeah.
A little off subject, well, kind of same subject. My therapist told me that I have blocked a lot of things that have happened to me through childhood. But she also told me it was best not, she's like, you're blocking them for a reason. Like, a lot of times it's too traumatic for you to rehash. So you don't want to bring those things back up. That's what.
Well, you know what? I don't agree.
I know they're indoctrinated. I know therapists are indoctrinated. I do know
that.
Yeah.
Right. We all know what's going on with that.
Yep. So that makes sense because that makes sense.
I would, if a therapist said that to me, I'd walk out the door because you're paying them money to have you release and work on things. They want us to stay in pain and suffering. Because once you release that, you get flow. You get flow to your consciousness and great things. You get to remember.
Well, the indoctrination is what keeps everyone asleep as well. So.
That's right. And when you wake up more so in your consciousness, you create light, and we know what light does. It activates your DNA. Your DNA will be activated. So let's connect afterwards, and you can make an appointment, and let's start working on some inner child stuff. It's painful, but it's necessary for expansion and growth. Because you don't want to be stunted. And I know where you want to be. A lot of people want to be on the ascension timeline. Some people don't, and that's fine. And you can still work on yourself, right?
Right.
And have a happy life. If you want to stay in the Fibonacci time frequency, which is totally okay. It's just saying it's a negative timeline.
That would be New Earth. That would be New Earth, correct?
Well, I'm not even going there with any kind of a planet here and a planet there.
Okay.
Because I
would just have some confusion on all that a little bit.
I stay away from that because people want proof. Where's the proof?
Oh yeah, I get that. And I
don't have a map of a formed.
Nobody's going to ever have proof.
Right. But once you get to know in your inner knowing, you might have your own proof for yourself. One way you can test it is doing a sway test. Have you guys ever done sway testing before?
A what?
A sway test?
No.
This is a sway test, okay? You kind of keep your feet apart, just, aligned with your hips. And I just stand there and I close my eyes and I ask a question. Okay? So let's do this. Let's just do a sway test. Yeah, yes is forward. I lean forward, and no is back. I sway back. You use your own body to get the answers. They also call this muscle testing. I've done this with my chiropractor, but I've held a piece of metal. I think it was copper or brass, and he tests my muscle and how my muscles would respond to certain kind of supplements to see if I would have. This is how I knew I'm allergic to certain foods too. It's a much easier test than those little pokes they do for kids, for allergy testing. They do this at the chiropractor. Anyways, so here's the sway test. Is there a new Earth for the Fibonacci sequence? I'm not moving. Is there a new Earth for the negative timeline? If anything, I'm going backwards. Okay, I feel a little tilt. Is there a new Earth for the positive timeline? I'm going forward. Okay. Did you see me sway a little? And I got chills. So let's do it again. Is there a new Earth for the positive? It's called the crystal timeline. Is there a new Earth for the crystal positive timeline? Yeah, there is. Okay. So new Earth would be on the crystal timeline. The Fibonacci timeline is still this Earth. And I'll tell you what's going to happen. This is what I feel. Okay. I don't want people to say it's going to happen. This is me and my guys and my inner self. Might be different for you guys. But I do have it in the in information in this book I have this massive book, which is Ashawanadine's of Voyagers. Look how thick it is. This is what I've been studying. Not only that, it's connected to the Ascension glossary index. You know, the Ascension. It's Ascension glossary. You can just Google it. I'm indigo too. I'm doing exactly what I'm doing. I'm helping people raise their consciousness level, bring in light, and to heal. These we're part of 12 races of angelic humans. We will be bringing in new energy and healing modalities. Okay, this is what my guides told me what I will be working in. I will be doing probably most likely the healing, not so much free energy, because that's somebody who is an indigo 1, most likely, which they work in ley lines. Okay, so you can go into the Ascension glossary and look up indigo 1, indigo 2, indigo 3, and you can see where you fall into line. Okay, I also do post this on my Facebook. I don't know if people are really reading it. I'm being shadow banned. I was shadow banned yesterday on Twitter. I post all this stuff. I'm posting stuff that they are really not liking. I stopped all politics. I cannot watch a single thing. It changes. It creates static. I can't even.
It's a distraction.
It's a
distraction. It doesn't even matter.
Right. Sound of Freedom. I can't even go there. I know what happens. I don't need to watch it.
I can't go watch it either because I've seen
Right.
stuff that keeps me up. And as far as
I feel the same way.
People come to me about Congress and I'm like, you guys don't get it. That is for the normies that are on level 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, absolutely.
When y'all find out that
remember,
Congress and Senate are not even legal.
And whatever you put in your mind, you create. We're that powerful.
Exactly.
So that's still part of programming. And I stay away from that. I'm really, just because I'm really into Ashawanadine's information. I'm not into a cult. This woman is part of the Emerald Order. This information is mind-blowing. After that Christian 21 episode that I went through, you guys.
Yes, I remember.
I look at that as a blessing. I learned so much from that. I met a lot of people and I learned so many lessons.
Everything is for a reason. And what people don't understand is that, we create our own reality, and the reality that we live in is what the cabal created for us.
Right. They don't want us to expand our consciousness at all. So,
no.
Okay, so I talked about, and then what I recommend is creating your own mantras. You can use mine, and I gave you the pictures. I have one, and this one was from Lori Ladd because I really liked it. And it was, I am love, I am light, I am truth, so be it. And then there's also, mantras for cleaning energies too, you can use. Now, I also recommend writing down your dreams, okay, you guys, and watching out for all the signs. I'm telling you, once you hit a certain level in your consciousness, you're going to get signs and symbols and things just happening like crazy. I was coded something, and I can't share it because I know what this is going to be for the future. I get chills because I'm so excited. What's going to happen with this code that I was given, it was 2 codes that work together. I need 2 more codes. I'm waiting for them to come in a dream. This will start activating my Merkaba fields. You've heard Merkabas, right? These Merkabas are, what Star David is? It's 2 Star Davids, okay? They're 12 corners. This is an energy field that they call it, I think in the Bible, a chariot. This is your DNA energy field that protects you, and you can travel interdimensionally with it. It's called a Merkaba. It's all light. So when we've seen like really weird things moving really fast with a high vibrational rate, and it's a light, extraterrestrials, this is how they move around in Merkaba fields. So they see a light, there's a light and it's moving. My son has sent me videos. He's been out there and he's seen Merkabas. So they're traveling in these like energy fields, and it's your own signature. Okay. So those codes, I believe, activate my Merkaba. They also activated my DNA code. This is supposedly going to be working with creating something called a safe zone. Okay. So a safe zone where people can learn to harness their Merkaba. And then once you have your Merkaba, you can create stargates. You've heard of stargates? We have them. Stargates all through the world. And so once you create your stargate, you'll be able to travel interdimensionally too, not only in here, but in a physical form. It's really cool. I know, right, Melissa?
Well, I believe you. I believe you. I'm not, I don't doubt it at all. I'm just mind blown,
It's mind-blowing information. And someone can say I'm off my rocker.
All of it is. Oh, believe me, people have been telling me that since 2020 as well.
Yeah, so we just take that with a grain of salt. Because we know how great we are. They're trying to suppress us, and we're that great that we can create a Merkaba. Look, they sell pendants of Merkabas. It's in our face, the fallen Metatron. That was one I lost some friends over. People don't believe of that the consciousness of Metatron's family bloodlines did fall, and there's a great video on it, and a lot of people still work in that. But the problem with that is Metatron's in a cube, and we know the cube keeps you stuck. On each side of that cube is like a maze. It keeps you stuck in chaos, and it keeps you stuck in your hold on a second. There's so much information. I have to go back and look at my notes. It keeps you stuck in those belief systems of how you should be. When you're stuck in a box, your belief systems, look, we have values, we have morals, but sometimes you don't know what to do in life, and you're stuck in the way you should be. And they make you feel like you should be doing A, B, and C, and D. This is where a lot of people are like, oh, I need to have children. I have to do this. These are belief systems and religion and things like that. That's where it's all contained in that unconscious mind. In your unconscious mind are your belief systems. The holding tank is your subconscious. Your conscious mind starts to drip through those feelings through your subconscious mind.
From the time I was a little girl, I never felt good in church. I always felt horrible, like it wasn't right. From the time I was a little girl.
See, your intuition. Yeah, you're probably, you're a feeling.
I struggled for a long time for doubting all of that.
Yeah.
Like I hated myself for it almost, because that's what I was.
They wanted you to do that. They're mind controlled, because anyone who has your best interests would say how beautiful you are and how much growth we need to do with one another and help one another. It's through love, kindness, and compassion, not through fear. Because fear, they control you with fear. Once they have you in the fear lock, they control. We know that with
it also causes illness and disease.
It's so you're right. It's so multifaceted, isn't it? It's quite amazing how they came up with it. So that takes me into what I wanted to talk about there's a book called The Four Agreements. And I read this when I was probably, I don't know, in my 20s. I put myself in therapy when I was 18. I had something happen to me at 13. Something really bad. And I confronted this person about it, and he did not take ownership, but I went through and confronted him. So I started working on my soul at 18 because I wanted to have good relationships. Not that it worked, but I needed what the work that I have been doing the last 3 years, that's what I needed, because it was all indoctrinated therapists, right?
Yep.
So one book that really helped me was called The Four Agreements. And it's like a Toltec wisdom book. And one of the four agreements: always do your best, be impeccable with your word, don't take anything personally, and never assume. Now, it's a book of freedom to release you from the mindset of these belief systems. You know, we're full of assumptions. We take everything personally. We're not impeccable with our word, and we don't always do our best. We're not perfect, but these are guides. Now, the thing is with taking things personally is that our conscious mind is not aware enough to know that the person doing something to you is projecting their pain and suffering onto us. And that is inner child work. That is where I will sit and go deep into your inner child, and we have a conversation with that inner child and start taking things apart for forgiveness, love, and compassion. It's very effective work to do. But because how we're raised and how we raise our kids and how their parents raise them is all projection. We're a hologram, a projection. Make sense a little?
Big movie.
A
big movie.
And we're the stars of the show, you guys. And we're shining our star. We're bringing the light through us. So this also leads into something called the hold on a second. It's called the Wheel of Virtue. And I compare it to Wheel of Virtue versus Metatron. This should be a video in itself, because the Wheel of Virtue works with the elements. This is command centers for earth, sun, water, ether's crystal, things like that. Now, I have a video that I will share with you all that is very worthy of watching it. So if you look on my Facebook, you'll see it looks like a beautiful artwork, and it's round, and it has all these colors, and it says what command center it is, what flame it is. Like, I work with a lot of fire, because I have had contacts with past lives and guides that work in the fire realms. Okay. And that is Egyptian for me. So I have Egyptian something in my codes with past lives and guides. And this is why Christian 21 was scared of me. Because I told him what I saw. I had a guide contact me. It was Nefertiti. And she said, I'll set the world on fire. And I told him this. And he said, oh, yeah, that's why we stayed away from you. And he said this. And I'm like, oh, interesting. But I wasn't aware of really what I was saying to him. Now that I've had time and learn, I downloads, I understand now that I was working with elements, the fire element. And the fire element is part of a command center in Egypt. And so these command centers have things like love, kindness, and compassion. So instead of going down a block of staying in chaos and a belief system, I've shifted into a commitment with the elements, the Wheel of Virtue. It's called Wheel of Virtue of Kala. And each command center has different things for strength, compassion, and love. And then it brings in an element. Like, okay. And I've had dreams about fire, quite a few of them. So I know I'm connected in that fire. So that's why I also bring in the elements with doing my flow work and my jewelry. Any questions? I know I keep talking, but let's get some questions here. Any?
I don't have any right now.
Okay, so the world, what about you, Missy? Oh, she's on mute, so that's okay. So I'll send you the video.
I'm here.
Any questions?
No, I'm good so far.
Okay, so the Wheel of Virtues is really, really interesting. What I watched it about 5 times and I can't get enough of it. It's so important to me. As you get more downloads, you'll get more answers. I'm starting to really understand it. There's there's command centers within us, and this is what's going to help you when you start working through your stuff, because this is how we should be acting with the Wheel of Virtues. We might need more love. We might need to receive more love. We need to give more love. Might need to have more clarity. We might need to give more clarity. So it's kind of this give, receive kind of event instead of keeping in chaos of belief systems. It's rewiring a belief system through feelings and compassion and love and the elements that our universe and God, or whatever you want to call, whatever you want to say, has given us. It's quite amazing that we have this, and to be able to reconnect and learn a different way to think instead of indoctrination is really a blessing. And I'm taking an oath to this. This is my oath, is how I want to treat people, because our energy fields are so sacred and nobody should ever be able to get in our field without our permission. Nobody should touch you without permission. Nobody should. You just protect yourself. And when there's something negative, you try to go at it with love, kindness, and compassion. I give people 3 chances. If they can't reciprocate and they're blaming and they're jealous and they're throwing all those things, then I say goodbye to the relationship and I wish them love. I no longer give light. I don't give light to anyone. They have to work on themselves to achieve their own light. I can give love, but I even if, anyone were like Christian, or who Christian never spoke bad to me, but Blue Water did. I give him love. He's doing his own thing, whatever. But yeah, so the Wheel of Virtue is really, really amazing. Also, I'm studying the 12 angelic races. That's something that you'll want to learn too, and you'll want to find out if you are a indigo 1, 2, or 3. Like I said, I'm indigo 2. Melissa, I kind of have an idea what you are, but you have to figure that one out too.
Okay. You said it was called the 4 Agreements?
That one, yeah.
Oh, there's a website you can look at as well, right?
You know what? It's an easy book. He also wrote a book called The Mastery of Love, and it's very similar to the 4 Agreements. If you just type it into your search engine, it'll come up. I believe this book should be given to everybody at birth. This is a guidebook for personal freedom. And it's easy.
That's the 4 Agreements book, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that's a really nice book.
No, you said it was was it the Ascension hand guide that you said where you could find out which indigo you were? Ascension glossary?
Yeah, let me just pull it up on here and I'll tell you where to go. Yeah, it's ascensionglossary.com. It is the best book of knowledge online. I also have a lot of links and PDF files that have been given to me to share with books and stuff I can share. Okay. But some of it's really complicated. But a lot of people understand complicated things. It was hard for me to understand at first, some of these.
So we also have star families as well, right? Star families, is that correct?
Well,
or is that not correct? Because
I would do a sway test, and I think so. Okay. I think because I had my star ancestry done by my friend Andy, and a lot of it's accurate that he did. So I have been told I'm full Palladian. And so that means it's just your location of where you reside in, and your family's there too. But you also reside your ancestry in the 12 angelic humans, because we're superhumans. We have powers that are now being activated.
Is that everybody? Is that everybody here?
Unless they're inorganic. If they're organic, I believe so. But remember, we also have fallen consciousness. So consciousness has fallen, and then it can be leading into reptilian. Not all reptilian are bad. A lot of people are reptilian and don't even know it, you know?
Mhm.
And so everybody's going through ascension. And as this happens, it's the veil's thinning, and your powers are coming through. They'll see what they are. That's going to be a shocker when you look in. I mean, I could look in the mirror and see who I am, but I already know who I am, so I know I'm not
Mhm.
reptilian. Reptilians tend to use the reptilian mind more. They tend to have things where they don't work on themselves. They don't have that compassion to want to help others. Unless there are certain different type of reptilian, I'm sure there's many different kinds. But the one like a reptilian Draco or any kind of negative reptilian, they're going to have more of a negative. Oh, did you hear that? Sorry, my dog's sleeping. He snored. And I don't want to just assume, because that's one of the four
Yes.
agreements, to assume. But I know a lot of people that are really jealous, and they say mean things, and they are very controlling. So it's either I question, are they reptilian? Okay. Or
I
they just
question
want
that
to
with
work on their
most
shit.
narcissists.
Right.
Narcissists, I very much question that with.
Right. We can't say they are because we don't want to assume, but
Yeah.
as long as you know, there could be some kind of more genetics of a reptilian line in that. And if I personally had that, a higher level of reptilian in my line, and I knew what was going on, I'd work on myself to make sure that I would tone down any of those reactions. That's where 0.0 point comes in, is changing our reaction to things, because our cells hold memory. So when you're mad at someone and you react, you're hurting yourself and putting negativity into the ether, and you're putting it into your cells, and it makes you sick. So staying at 0 point. I work with some people that are going through divorces, and I recommended to go with grace when you do a separation of relationships, because you don't want to hurt anybody. You want to make sure that things are handled with love, kindness, and compassion, because it comes back to in that karmic wheel. And because if it's karma, or if it's even quantum, whatever it is, it can come back. And just because you don't get along and you're not meant to be together, and fighting over money is not worth it, because that's the big kicker. And you're working with attorneys that want your money. They're not always, you have some good attorneys, but there's a lot of them, they took their oath, and they want to perpetuate pain because they get more money from it and the fighting. So this is why I'm like, you got to stay 0 point, give love, protect your loved ones, even if you're upset at them, with the Christos diamond somebody, because that's where the wheel of virtue comes in, and changing your thought process with how we keep our thoughts in the I never remember that one word, our belief systems. Your belief systems are contaminated. So you have to deconstruct belief systems. I did that when I was there in Arizona. My belief system kicked in, and I let go of it, and it was amazing. I felt so much more love.
I bet.
So, and then I came back, and that belief system kicked in again, and I'm like, ah. So it's constant work. It's constant working on yourself of writing down, why did I feel that way? What's the purpose of that? Why did I say it was okay then, and then now I'm glad I didn't do something, and then I have to deconstruct that, So it's you end up in mind games if you don't want to be in confusion, and that's the box, that's the chaos, that's Metatron. You want to go back to the wheel of virtue, because it's smooth, and it's a commitment to yourself, and it's commitment to creating a new way to think, and it gives you serenity and calm, and to be in grace with how you act with people, and it takes away judgment. It helps you not judge people even if they wear a mask. Any questions?
No, not for today.
Okay. I know I talked a lot about stuff. Does it make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
It makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Absolutely.
It resonates. Everything you said resonates with me, and it makes a lot of sense. Did you watch our show last night? We had we had some people on there, Michael and Steve, and they talked about all of this as well. About the indoctrination and how, all of this is going to fall, everything's going to fall, and the people are going to learn the truth about what they've been hiding from us. And we're really blessed that we've seen through the BS, right? We're very blessed that yes, we've been ridiculed or whatever, but look, God let us see. We've seen through the BS, and we know, right? So we've seen through it.
And when Missy, I did hop on for a little bit yesterday. You're having a lot of great people on your show. That's fantastic. When you raise in consciousness level and you start to clear up blockages, you'll see the BS in a different light too.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
And are we live right now?
I don't believe we're actually live
on. I think we are. It says live.
But it's not going anywhere because I'm not connected. So it's just
okay. Well, I just was going to tell you, I have my show where it's a platform for everybody to tell their story. And so, sometimes, I let everybody have their moment, right? I give everybody credit and give their moment. Everybody deserves the chance to talk. So trust me, I can see through the BS meter as well.
That's great. Yeah. What I've talked about today, you have to be ready for it because you go really deep. But I was like, I have to connect. There's no other way. When you feel like you have a calling, you feel the calling, and this is why I've changed so much. You guys have seen me evolve. Missy, my style is changing. I'm into feathers. I'm into elements. I've always loved crystals, but what's coming is my DNA is activated for who I really am. You're activating your true self. You're becoming the real person. I was somebody else before, and now I'm really starting to because I'm an energy worker. I am a light worker. I now can heal people. I came down with the hum. I came down with the hum. This humming is clearing up distortion fields when I hum over people. When they're on my Pulsed Electro-Magnetic Field healing mat, I came down with this weird hum. It's the weirdest. And for closing, I'd like to hum for you guys to help any distorted, I don't know if Missy, are you still here?
I think you may have lost her.
Yeah, I think. Hi, honey. I'm on the camera. My son just rolled out of the bed.
I truly feel like that's the reason they massacred all the Native Americans. It had nothing to do with land at all. They knew everything. They knew everything.
I got chills. They did. Yeah.
I did too. Yeah, I did too. They knew that everything's spiritual. They knew. They knew.
something with Native American in me, and I don't have like as my earth body, I'm not, but I am indigo. So it's all coming through, and Melissa, I cannot wait for I mean, you're already gifted, but just wait till they're amplified. Mine's going to get amplified.
I can't wait either. I'm very much looking forward to it.
It's going to be so great. Okay, you're back, Missy, huh? We lost you for a bit. Let me pull her in. She can hear me. Okay, you're back, sweetie.
Yeah, I'm back. Okay, so my internet is messed up, and my whole neighborhood's internet's messed up. That's what it does. It kicks us out. The whole neighborhood it's happening to. We've had 5 internet people out here. They're supposed to call a bucket crew, so that's what happens. It just kicks me out. But anyway, the last I heard you say was our DNA is activated. Or is activating, and you're right. That's exactly what is going on. And if you're working on yourself, you're cleansing your body, you're going within, you're going to your higher self, the more your DNA will be activated. The problem that we have with the sleepers are they hadn't even started at step 1. You see what I'm saying?
Right. So hopefully this video will go viral.
Right. I'll share. Look, I'm going to share it out. I'll share it out if you don't care. I mean,
no, I would love an interview. I want to help people. This is the work that we do from the highest level of the heavens, the pillars of light coming through earth. This is the work that we need to be showing people. People are either awake or they're not. We don't need to recycle. It's an echo chamber of all the crap. I'm done with the crap. This is why I've removed myself from all politics. I already know what's going on. I don't need to know who's running for Congress, A, B, and C, whatever.
And it doesn't matter because it's all going away.
This is a spiritual battle. I'm sticking on my grounds of spirituality.
Well, Marie, did you see where I posted yesterday? If by now y'all don't know this is a spiritual battle, I just don't know what to tell you. Melissa, where are you at in this? Are you getting what she's doing?
I'm aware of almost everything. I'm aware of I'm aware of how they use our children for Satan, for evil. Right. I'm aware of all of it. I want getting back I have some blockages that Belle's going to help me work on, but I'm almost there.
I don't even like to bring the name into the conversation. It's negative. I keep all that out.
I'm sorry.
I don't bring in the S word or the
That's a good way to do it. Because on my channel we have to talk, we always have to talk about that because we're trying to wake it up. But on your channel, you're trying to stick with the positive. And we all have our own part. Every single one of us.
Absolutely.
We all have our own part.
Absolutely.
And you're doing a great job, Belle. I mean, I can even see a difference in you since the last time. You know what I'm saying? Like I see that you're growing every single day. And I'm not even on the level that you're on yet. We're all at our own pace, right?
Right.
But you're right about the see thing. I don't want to go see that. I don't like to even talk about it. But unfortunately on my show, some of my audience don't even know about it. And so we have to talk about it. I mean, it's just, you've got to face it sometimes to get where it's at on a normie level. You know what I'm saying? From a normie's level.
Right. So the thing I had an issue with is when you're going up in vibration and then going down to talk about the negative and then going up in the vibration and going down in negativity where when you have to talk about all the negative stuff. Me personally, I can't do that because it affects me.
It does. It affects your vibration. And that's the thing when you're around 3D people. Like they drain your energy,
there's energy vampires.
Yeah, they drain your energy. And like I've had some people around me they started, evolving. They started going through their ascension and rising. And then all of a sudden they just stopped. And I could not understand why they just stopped. Well, I found out Sunday that it's because one of them ended up going and getting on Big Pharma and then lied about it. I said, do you not understand? This is why your ascension stopped. You can't take this stuff. So,
well, there's a lot of things. This is why I incorporate we talk mostly about the mind and the body and the soul, but those three things also are also what you put into your body and into your mind and into your heart, which, Missy, it's big pharma. It's what we eat. It's what we drink.
It's everything. Yeah.
Right. Like,
but my thing is what but see, he had come so far. He was doing so good. He was waking up his ascension, and then all of a sudden it halted, and I could not understand why it just stopped. Like he went from agreeing and seeing what I was seeing to back to argumentative. And I'm like, what stopped your ascension? What happened? Well, it was because he fell into I've got high blood pressure and, and I need to get on it. But anyway, the bottom line is when you're around these 3D people, it drains you. And that's why we're kind of loners, That's why
you do what I taught the Christos Diamond somebody to protect yourself.
Yeah.
And this is why it's important to protect your energy fields from people like that. And everybody has a choice. If they want to stick with it, with those people, that's fine. I can't. I'd rather not have any friends than just sit and marinate in that negativity because it affects me. And I have left my own groups that I've started because I can't do it anymore. I cannot watch any more negative videos, even about any kind of financial anything of Nassar. I don't do any of that because when you ascend, you don't have any of that.
Right.
Okay? Your life is very simple and full of love.
And that makes total sense. And you're making total sense because when you're feeding your brain this stuff, it gets you so negative. It does. I totally agree.
So I had to leave a lot of people behind and a lot of groups, and they can say that their opinion of me is none of my business because I am doing my work, that I signed a contract and I honor it. This is where I have to be. This is where I reside.
You're doing what you were called to do, for sure.
Right. It's a calling. I've been activated through my dream. I had a calling. They're giving me information from the highest heavenly realms. People, I hear conversations in my head of guides and who comes to me. And they're big names. I'm not saying who they are because I need to keep things still on the level of reality in our fake world. But let me tell you, they're saying I'm doing a good job because I'm working with them eventually with bringing in new futuristic things. And I know the people I'm supposed to be working with too. Right. And so I contact people and make things happen. This is part of the reason why I'm going to Arizona more than I'm going for the Lionsgate. The Lionsgate portal is really huge, you guys. My mom died on the Lionsgate day, the highest, the peak, which is August 8th.
Wow.
So I'll be in Sedona. I'm doing a promotional video. My friend is a producer. He has his own Liberty Report. He's fantastic. His name's Chadwick. We met when I was doing the Reawakening tours. I used to work in the media as a bridge worker, helping people connect with different media sources to do interviews. And so that's how I met Chadwick. And I was just in Arizona. And I'm going to say his name. I was with, Jake Angeli Chansley?
I don't.
Jay Sixer, who's just released. He's the shaman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we hung out and he laid on my energy mat and we had some really, really great conversations. And then I had really great conversations with Chadwick, and we're going to be doing promotional videos because I need to get out, and people that are teaching at resorts, they are teaching yoga, mindfulness, but they're not involving quantum, and we're quantum.
Yes.
Okay.
It's all about quantum. It's all about quantum. I mean, it's all about that. I mean, all you have to do is read about it. We are going quantum. Everything is about
everything quantum. Yeah. And so this is why I just received. So we have a place over here where I live, and they have yoga and, you know, some psychics and all this stuff. And I just went in and I sent them my promotion, because those 2 videos that I have about consciousness and about flow, I sent them that, and they just responded. And I'm going to go to resorts.
Good job.
I'm going to go try to teach these classes at resorts. Another thing I'm going to do,
and then you can teach them here.
Well, that's right. That's what I want to do. But I also want to do a sacred unions. I want to marry people in a sacred union, not a contract, but the union of a divine feminine and divine masculine. I would love to do wedding ceremonies. That came to me while I was in Arizona. But these are the things that come through. I'm telling you this, not to toot my horn. I'm telling you these things that are coming through to me that I would have never done before. You know, and creating this line of jewelry and all these videos. I never did editing before in videos. It's so difficult. But
I know, girl, I've gotten good at that.
Yeah,
I've gotten good at making my own videos on Canva. I've gotten good at that. I mean, like, I was so lost at that. And over the last year, I've gotten really good at that stuff.
See, we all have our gifts, and they're going to be amplified. Okay. This is what's going on with us now is nothing compared to once you get past some pain blockage. You got to clear it to make a flow, you know, get that flow going and put it out into the quantum.
And that's where you're going to come in for me, because there's going to be times I'm going to call you and say, listen, I've had a really bad day, Marla. I need you to clear me. You know, we all have our own thing. And I'm still at a point where, and I'm sure Melissa can agree with this, where I let the 3D get me down. Like, I let them get to me really bad. And like, I've got to learn your strength. And that's where you're going to come in to help me learn how to do that.
I'm going to teach you how. And what the thing is, though, you'll change.
I'm good. I've already changed. Girl, I've already changed so much that people have disowned me, thinking I'm crazy.
We'll change even more. Just
so listen to this. You know, my daughter, she was born psychic. Okay. Now, back in the day, of course, I was indoctrinated, and I would tell her, oh, you need to just stop that. Stop talking like that. That's of the devil. Stop, Star. I would say that's of the devil. And now, and she always collected crystals and all of that. Right. And so I told her, now Star. So now I've told, she's upset because they're outside and she's not. It's okay. Oh. So anyway, now she's got crystals, she's always collected crystals. And I'm like, she's 30 now. And I'm like, Kelsey, please start using your gift again. She goes, oh, Mom, after all the ridicule I got. I said, no, but this is the time to use it and help humanity.
Yeah, that's good. You encourage her. But see, what you're learning now, some of these tools and techniques, you're going to pass on. It's going to end up being in your cells. It's going to activate you. So that's how it changes. Now, when I was laying on my mat, this is already an hour and 12 minutes, so I'm going to have to close out because but I'm going to hum, if that's okay, because what's going to happen if you're having any.
Okay, she's barking, so I'm going to mute it, but I'm going to still listen.
Okay, honey. I'm going to close this with a little humming. It's really kind of weird. I've never done 2 people at once. That sounds so bad. But I've only worked on individuals, not 2, and I've never done it online. Okay, so it might be a little bit of a different experience for me. So I'll take note and see, but it will work because what will happen, it will start clearing out some of your distortion, because my vibration will match yours and Missy's. It's going to probably maybe fluctuate. Okay. It's weird. It's just not like this. It's just not like that. It takes over me. Okay. So I would be doing it over somebody here. So it's the heart. So what would like to do is I'm going to have you guys put your right hand over your thymus gland with your heart, okay? And I'm putting out into the quantum my intention to clear up any of your distortion. This is part of my healing techniques that I do when people come to my home or now online. So I'm putting it into the quantum that my vibrational healing will match any kind of distortion to clear up the distortion and break it apart. It will help clear up some blockages in the heart and in the crown chakra as well. Okay. Just give me a few minutes, okay? It's going to take me a little bit. Okay. Wasn't that something? Thank you. I think afterwards, I'm full of gratitude. Thank you for giving me this gift to be able to help people heal. It's an honor to be able to do this kind of work. Thank you. And so it is. Okay. I don't know if you felt anything. I'd love to hear some feedback. Did you feel anything when I was doing that, Melissa? And if you didn't, it's fine.
I did.
It's okay.
I did. I don't know how strongly because the first time I've ever experienced that, I could feel it though. Especially when I was talking and asking to receive it. That's when your humming went higher, more high.
Oh, really interesting. See, this is the feedback I need because I've never done it over the internet.
That's when I noticed it when I was asking to receive it.
So I went at a higher pitch. Okay, that's so interesting.
Yes.
That is amazing. That's really, really great.
It is.
Oh, you're tearing up. You're making me tear up too.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm super, super emotional these last couple of days. So I've been having but you said I'm clearing blockages, so that's great.
Yeah. and this whole video, you can rewatch it and you might get different things at different times. That's where that subconscious starts to drip. You can't, not everything will happen at once to keep you safe. Okay. It will give you only what you can handle to work upon each feeling as it happens. Now, what this vibrational humming is also clearing up blockages for distortion that we have been given through so many different avenues of energy fields. So this is something that just started over me. So this is now, I consider it a gift, and I'm seeing research that it's accurate, that that's what it is. because when something happens, and I'm telling you this so you'll know what to do. When something different happens to you, research it so you know what it means, because the information is out there. Your guides will tell you what to do. As you get information coming through with your guides, you're going to just think it and you're like, oh, I gotta research it. And then you'll have answers and write it down. That's how they start giving you information. And I always research it. I don't take it. I need to see it in writing too. And then I'm like, oh, there you go. That's how I knew when I was on my mat and I had to download that I'm a genetic doctor, which I already knew that, but I forgot. I didn't know what I really do up there in the astral realms in genetics. I can see the gifts of genetic lines and be able to combine them to create superpowers. And maybe I will get more information in time. That's just one thing that I do. And I've had weird things as well, in dreams. Dreams are really, really important. Dreams are really important.
I guess I don't remember them because they say you do have them. I don't ever remember mine.
Well, when you do, you can actually ask to remember them. When you learn, like, I'll send you a video. It's the Emerald Covenant or the Emerald Order. You've heard of the Emerald Order before, right? My genetics is part of that, and yours could be too. You ask them that you want to remember your dreams. You say this before you go to bed, and there's visuals you do in your mind. You put a blue light near your pineal gland. You see a blue light and back in that pineal gland. You visualize it. You visualize the Christos diamond somebody going through, and you create this mantra of, I need to see my dreams. I want to have guidance in my dreams. You have to ask for what you need before you go to bed. When you wake up, you tell them, you say your mantras. I am love. I am light. I am truth. And so it is, you create your mantras that you want for your life. That's how it started with me, with mantras, daily mantras. So all these tools you can hone to start seeing your dreams so you can be guided by your dreams. I just happen to be a really good listener and look at signs but those things come in time. You already get signs. You are already very in tune because you saw what happened with you sent me the pictures. We are already activated in a lot of ways, okay? Because that light came through in 2012. We were activated way back then. Okay, it's just now honing these skills and becoming more activated. And Missy and her daughter's psychic. And so we have these capabilities and we can talk through telepathy. And we'll be able to do this even more down the road because it's easier. But we're sacred. Nobody can come into our energy. And that's part of these changing our belief systems. So, well, I'm glad you felt something. And thank you girls, for coming today and taking the time to want to learn. And you can share anything you want, all the information, and I'll post this and send you a link.
All right, do that.
Thank you so much. We'll talk very soon. I'll be in touch later this evening.
Nice meeting you, Melissa.
Nice meeting you too. And I'll get your information from Belle, and I'll make sure I check your videos out.
That sounds
okay.
good.
Thank you.
My intention.
Have a good day, ladies.
You guys have a beautiful day. Have it filled with lots of love and lots of liquid light. Much love.
Okay, love you, Belle.
Thank you.
Love you all. Bye-bye.